It's finally time for another round of useless facts. These are my favorite kinds of facts because they're usually pretty funny, since they're not intentional most of the time. And when they are on purpose, they're just plain interesting. And today I have another 21 of them, so let's go. On the balcony next to Captain Brant, you can find a large pot that can't be picked up. If you run into it, it'll jiggle. Maybe it tickles the pot. Maybe the pot is telling you to leave it alone. We will never know. Glyndwr is the elf archer from the Sacred Arbor. You can first meet him in the plaza while he daydreams about the human bows for sale. Well, the funny thing is, in real life, the name Glyn is derived from Glyndwr. And you may recognize that as the name of the stand-in Arisen for all the promotional media. Despite being literally made for being shot by arrows, the arrow targets around the game will break once hit by an arrow. After a battle including any NPC characters or pawns, you'll often see injured ones holding their chest. Even though they don't have a health bar above their heads, casting Anodyne near them will still heal them and cause them to stop holding their chest. When you're at the Bordellerie, for whatever you're doing, you can find some potions in the room that have some funny implications, such as Prescribed Tranquility, a grimoire that casts Solemnity, a silencing spell, Wicking Remedy, a potion that cures the tar debilitation, and the Stability Extract, which reduces the chances of becoming afflicted with debilitations. Make of that last one what you will, but at least they're using protection. The quince is a fruit that you can find almost exclusively in Batal, but there is actually a single tree you can find in Vernworth. It is in the castle garden just outside the castle kitchen. This tree is most likely a gift from Lord Phasis, as they're known to have a connection of some sort. On top of that, quinces also sell for more money in Vermund than they do in Batal, going for 10 times as much gold. At this location on the map, you can find a half-buried pot in the ground. If you slowly approach the pot while holding your grab button, you'll see that the pot magically emerges from the soil. It's the most absolutely useless fact that I've ever encountered. Brooms just be bugging out in this game! The heaviest mage's staff weighs more than the lightest greatsword. A funny quirk of the character creator is that you can set your Arisen's age to a maximum age of 999 years old. Since the Arisen doesn't age, it makes sense. But what's funnier is that your Arisen becomes an Arisen shortly before the beginning of the game. So your age doesn't really make sense if you set it over a normal human lifespan. I feel like you can read this in game, but when you fall into a hay cart, you actually don't take any fall damage. Now this may seem useful, but at no point does it ever seem like a good option. Only time I can think of is when you're escaping the Bordellerie at the end of a quest, but even then, unless you're a low level, you won't die from that height anyways, so it finds a spot here on the useless list. On Magic Archer, there's a hilarious pose you can catch if you shoot some arrows mid-air. The timing is short, but it's funny if you can get it. While walking the streets of Batal, you'll hear some great music. And if you listen closely, you can pick out each instrument. But did you know that each distinct instrument is actually being played by an NPC in the city? And if you interrupt their performance, it will remove their instrument from the music. Near the end of the Tensions on the High Road quest, there is a moment where you and Ragnar are escaping together and a rock wall prevents Ragnar from continuing. This cutscene will play regardless of whether or not Ragnar is clear of the slide and will always end up becoming separated from you. In the forests of Vermund and Batal, you can find trees that look like they have some bark peeling off. What's weird about these trees is what happens when you use Savage Lash. It glitches out the texture. And on top of that, these trees can be outright destroyed using Arc of Might. Pretty cool. I'm guessing these are like this because they're coded to break when large monsters collide with them. Here's what a normal Cyclops Skull looks like. Pretty normal, right? Well, there's a mini Cyclops Skull you can find at the Pilgrim's Path Empty Abode, which would imply there are either baby Cyclopses or pygmy variants in this world. In the moniker section of the character creator, we can find many names of characters from other Capcom games, including from the Mega Man series, Street Fighter, Devil May Cry, and the Knights of the Round Table. In Vernworth, down this alley, you can find a corner that appears to be scorched black for some reason. Maybe it's just my game though, so please let me know in the comments if this is in your guys' game as well. I'm actually genuinely curious. In the Castle Plaza, there is an ox cart bell that you can activate the same as any other. Only difference is that this ox cart does not allow you to ride it at any point. I even tried wearing fancy clothes, but still nothing. The type of pickaxe that is used in the game is known as a mandrel or miner's pickaxe. They feature a shorter handle for use in caves and other confined areas. Finally, we have a funny useless fact, but simply it's that the beefsteak is just a stretched out image of the scrap of beast. You thought we wouldn't notice, Capcom, but we did. And there we have some absolutely positively, without a doubt, some of the most useless facts in Dragon's Dogma. Did you like them? Did you like me? Let me know in the comments. And until next time,
Bye bye.